Well, good morning. And not long after Biden left the stage, a third Illinois congressman added his name to a growing list of more than a dozen Democrats who say Biden should step aside. Biden, however, made it clear last night that is not his plan. After days of NATO talks and talk about him exiting the presidential race, President Joe Biden took the stage in a high-stakes press conference, and it didn't start off well.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
This gaffe came just hours after he inadvertently called Ukraine's President Vladimir Putin, and weeks after his disastrous debate performance put a spotlight on his ability to do the job.
Can you name me somebody who's got more major piece of legislation passed in 3.5 years? Created 2,000 jobs just last week.
The president found his footing, however, when it came to foreign policy, talking in depth about China, the Ukraine war, and his Israeli-Hamas ceasefire plan. Domestically, he touched on women's rights and curbing gun violence.
What I think President Biden was able to do today was what he needed to have done at the end of June with the debate. Right?
North Central College political science professor Dr. Suzanne Schott says, though it may not seem like it, Biden has time.
None of this matters till September. Poll numbers, fundraising, attention to the news cycle. For voters, we're dipping in and out of paying attention.
Close to 20 Democrats and independents who caucus with him think time is short and have called on him to pass the torch. Biden said he's still the best man to beat former President Trump in November and defended his ability to lead.
I mean, my schedule has been full bore. I've done, where's Trump been? Riding around in his golf cart, filling out his scorecard before he hits the ball? I mean, look, he's done virtually nothing.
Biden told the nation he is open to taking any neurological tests his doctors advise. He also said, despite rules governing how delegates can vote at the convention, they are free to vote for who they like after the first ballot.
Tomorrow, if all of a sudden I show up at the convention, everybody says we want somebody else, that's the democratic process. It's not going to happen.
What will happen over the next several weeks leading into the convention is an even larger spotlight placed on the president's every public appearance.
President Biden doesn't have the luxury of making a single mistake now.
Now, after the news conference, Biden responded to a social media post by the former president who took aim at President Biden, calling Vice President Kamala Harris Vice President Trump. In his response, Biden said he knew the difference. One was a prosecutor and the other is a felon. We're live in the newsroom. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.